Imagine, one day a fuzzy gray ball appears in the center of your vision, clouding and blurring your eyesight.
I would look and I would see part of the face terribly distorted.
Very difficult to see the faces of people.
The everyday activities you took for granted, you can no longer do.
I had to stop driving. I have trouble recognizing people at distance.
I had a lot of difficulty reading.
I wondered, how would I live my life?
An eye disease diagnosis can be devastating, but patients with low vision can take control and lead active, independent lives. The National Association for Visually Handicapped, or NAVH, can help.
I have macular degeneration.
I have glaucoma and rod and cone dystrophy.
I have macular degeneration.
I've been diagnosed with macular degeneration.
I have Stargardt's disease.
Visual impairment usually results from eye diseases such as macular degeneration, where the central part of vision is distorted or blocked, diabetic retinopathy, which can affect central and peripheral vision, glaucoma, which reduces the field of vision, and Stargardt's, a juvenile form of macular degeneration which is hereditary. These diseases can mean permanent visual impairment, making daily life difficult, often resulting in sadness and depression.
There's a heavy psychological component to this, unfortunately. If you think of how much of your life is tied up with vision, and if you're looking at the idea that you may be losing vision and losing the ability to do a lot of functions that you like to do, that's a big part of your life that you're looking at. That way they don't feel the needle.
58-year-old Sandy Spitzer is being treated for macular degeneration. An estimated 16.5 million people in the United States suffer from low vision, often as a result of eye diseases such as macular degeneration, and suddenly find it difficult to navigate their environment and do the things they love. NAVH can help people learn to rely on their usable vision and remain independent through tools, education, and encouragement.
Oh, this makes a huge difference.
If you have any kind of a visual impairment, but you still have some useful vision, this organization actually specializes in helping people who just don't see very well. Hi, how are you? What do you got for me?
Joe Mahoney works full-time for CBS News at the traffic desk, working on shipping and logistics for the network. He was diagnosed 6 years ago.
I thought, my God, how am I going to work? Everything I do at my job is reading.
As a college student, Laquan Johnson had the same fears.
When I was diagnosed, I felt kind of angry. I felt mad. I was shocked. I didn't know what was going on.
Eye disease has been part of April Goley's life since she was diagnosed at 8 years old. Sandy Rothberg began experiencing vision problems just 3 years ago. But all use devices, tools, and aids from NAVH that help them with everything from leisure activities to everyday chores.
I'm able to read documents. I'm able to read newspaper. And also to look at pictures.
I have a closed-circuit TV or video magnifier, which enlarges the print so I can use that to read text, to do personal mail, to write out checks.
I have a small video magnifier. You can write checks, you can fill in deposit slips, bank slips. There's really nothing you can do. You want to read a medicine bottle, you can actually put this thing right under it.
I have a software program for my computer called Zoom Text. It magnifies everything on the screen up to 16 times. My newest item is called the Quick Look. And basically, you can use this device to go to the supermarket, go to the store. You can read a book on the train. You can do basically anything. Those are my eyes.
And that's not all. NAVH teaches valuable techniques for living with low vision and encourages people to continue living their everyday lives. Sani is an avid downhill skier, cooks his own meals, and stays in shape in the weight room. Laquan never slowed down his active life.
There we go.
Joe designs and ties his own flies in preparation for fly fishing vacations abroad, shops for food in the local market, and he still dances the tango several nights a week. Sandy makes miniature pieces for her dollhouse collection. April bakes when she entertains company and hails taxicabs when she goes to the theater. They all learn these tricks of the trade with individualized attention from NAVH.
NAVH is very, very anxious to have people who have vision impairment recognize that there is no such thing as they can't, if they have motivation.
The NAVH Fun Room is chock full of tools, full-spectrum lamps, and gadgets that help people maintain independence, confidence, and an active life.
People who come into our fun room very often are delighted to see all the different things available and are thrilled to know that there are items that can help them.
From talking clocks and watches, lighted magnifying glasses of all strengths, mirrors, remote controls, closed-circuit TVs, large print dictionaries and crossword puzzles, and lights that for many seem to turn night into day.
Probably looks a lot brighter to you.
Help also comes in the form of a bi-monthly senior support group.
I keep people informed of what's going on in the field of interest or beneficial to them about vision, about nutrition, and consequently we spend a great deal of time showing people various items that they can perhaps help work with and learn how to use the vision they have. How many have had treatments with that lately?
Dr. Markey has been helping people with low vision for over 50 years. She perfected large type print when she learned how to operate a printing press because one of her children was born with an eye disease. And she's been an advocate ever since. Her motto?
If you don't use it, you're going to lose it.
So NAVH is there to help patients adjust.
We get them plugged into something like the National Association of Visually Handicapped, which helps them adapt to some of these parts of the disease that are very difficult to overcome on their own.
You have to get into a mindset, I have to try. And you have to look at this as a challenge. I found that there's very little that I can't do, and the NAVH has actually been, extremely helpful and instrumental in coping with this disease.
I've learned an awful lot down there from the people who attend the meetings down there. And we sit around a table and we discuss problems, answers to some of the problems from just regular laymen rather than the doctors.
When I found the NAVH, they helped me find independence and freedom, so to speak. They helped me tell myself I can do this.
While there is no cure for most eye diseases, new treatments are on the horizon.
So far, we don't have a cure for macular degeneration. We have a number of different treatments that we can employ that seem to work.
These treatment options do not restore lost vision. At best, these treatments can prevent further loss of vision. The hard of seeing will struggle with the difficulties of reduced vision for the rest of their lives. Learning to overcome the challenges of eye disease for Joe, Sandy, Sani, April, and Laquan was no easy task. But all have retained their independence through technology, self-motivation, and a can-do attitude.
With the help of organizations like the National Association of Visually Handicapped, they can also learn better techniques and skills to manage their everyday life. I think it's very important to get plugged into the National Association of Visually Handicapped, as well as coming back for the medical care. It's not one thing that fixes a patient with this disease. It's really a group effort.
I can go fly fishing. I can go dancing, I can shop, I can work.
I am able to live a very full, active, independent life, and I often look at myself as not having a vision impairment.
I'm going to continue doing the things that I truly enjoy.
There's nothing that can stop me.
NAVH is headquartered in New York City and has an office in San Francisco. The nonprofit organization supplies services to all 50 states and throughout the world. NAVH is entirely dependent on private funds from individuals, foundations, and corporations. For more information or to support their services, visit navh.org or call for an appointment, 212-889-3141 or 1-800-677-9965. National Association for Visually Handicapped. 22 West 21st Street between 5th and 6th Avenue, 6th floor. New York, New York, 10010.